Hey guys, welcome back to the Eyes on Leafs podcast. It's been a minute. We got a different setup now.
New setup
Me and
now.
Jacob are in the same room. Seb's on the Zoom. I have a feeling it's probably gonna be like this for the most part for the next little bit. Just with our situations, it's gonna work better this way. So
Yeah, I moved. I got a new
Jacob
room.
moved.
I got jerseys on the wall.
did.
I'm back in school in Toronto, so we're gonna probably be doing the pod, me and Jacob together for the most part. Obviously, our settings are gonna change a little bit. Like, me and Jacob are gonna try to get a little bit of a studio going, just a podcasting studio, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And Seb is
If I can make it down for one, we'll see.
yeah.
But-
And just give us a little bit of grace here for people who do watch. Like, our audio might not be the best for the first episode. We're working through some kinks, but like we'll get through it, and next pod will be better. The more we do it, the more it'll be better for you guys on the audio side. And want to apologize for the long break. We didn't really post much this off season. Just all of us have been pretty busy.
Yeah, we're gonna.
Yo, you know what? It's they didn't give us much to work with. The
I mean, it was a dead
so
off season.
They
Yeah,
didn't really
the
give
Marco
us much.
Rossi trade that never happened.
Yeah. Either way, we do
Ryan
wanna-
Reeves.
yeah. We do want to apologize, and we told you guys we'd get like separate content out, but we never ended up doing it. We've just been really busy, and we apologize. We have other stuff that we got going on, but we appreciate you guys tuning in again. So do you just want to get right into it? Yeah. So this pod is gonna be a lot more Leafs focused. We have 3 topics we want to touch on for the rest of the league, but we're gonna leave that to the end. But like I said, it's gonna be a lot more Leafs focused. With the day we're recording, the first preseason game just ended. Unfortunately, me and Jacob weren't able to catch a lot of it. Seb caught most of it, so he'll probably catch up on or catch us up on what's going on. But I do want to
I'll
start.
fill in the blanks.
Yeah, exactly. But I do want to start with the lineup that Mark Masters posted. We got lines for a lot of the guys didn't play this game, so we got like some potential lines for the guys who weren't playing. This includes a lot of what the Leafs starting lineup looks like it'll be. So Masters starts line 1 with Knies on the left, Matthews in the middle, Michelli on the right. A lot of people talking about Domi. I talked a lot about Domi in my last articles. I didn't catch.
I think we all were kind of.
but yeah, like
I think we all were kind of on like the Domi with Matthews train, but like I don't think there's a bad option.
No,
I'm
Domi.
not
either
mad
one
about
of those two.
I'm not mad about McShelly being there, and I as a matter of fact,
Yeah.
we'll get deeper into the lineup, but I think it makes more sense with McShelly higher up and Domi farther down.
I'll dive into what I think they should do with Michelli, I guess, when we start talking about that. But yeah.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm going to go through the lines and we'll talk about our thoughts after. I just,
Yeah.
I do have some things to say on Domi, but I'll leave it to after, like I said. Second line, on the left, McMahon, and up the middle, JT, and then Willie on the right. Third line, I do like this line a lot. Joshua on the left, Waugh up the middle, and Domi on the right. And then on the fourth line, it was Lawrence on the left, Lawton, and then they had Vallis there, a prospect for the Leafs. I guess so. Lawrence, Lawton, and I'm trying to think who would be on the fourth line there on the wing. Right?
It's probably like Yarncrow, Cam,
Robertson.
Robertson, Cowan if he
Right,
makes it.
Right. So
There's
those
a
are
lot
the
of options.
options. And the
Any
D
of those
pairs
guys.
are pretty normal. It would be McCabe, Tanev, Riley, Carlo, OEL, and then I think Bennett was on.
Benoit.
No, Bennett was
Benning.
on.
Oh,
or sorry,
Benning.
Benning. Sorry, Bennett. My bad.
Benning.
Benning was on the right. That's obviously going to change. I don't see him playing playing every day for us. So it's probably going to be Benoit.
Yeah.
But there is, you know what? There is a bit of a seventh defenseman battle going on there between.
There's a lot.
Yeah, Benning and Thrun. We'll see who comes out with that.
Philip Myers too.
Philip
Dakota
Myers-
Mermis.
Dakota Mermis is there. So we do have like
There's a lot of
spot
guys.
open on this for seventh defenseman. but
That's a
we'll
good
see.
problem to have. It's good to have a bunch
Too
of guys
many
that could
NHL
play.
bodies. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
That's
But
great.
Don't sleep on like a Marshall Rafai too.
here we go.
True.
Or like
Your next
no.
Holmberg.
he's
No,
good.
Rafai, I saw,
He's good.
No, he played minutes for the Leafs last year, and I saw he got
He's
into
good.
2 fights today. And they're
Today,
No.
dude,
pretty good
he's
kills, but
scrappy. That's like
No.
a Berube.
He's
I'm
trying
watching
to
that guy.
prove-
He's a Berube
He's
guy.
trying to prove that he could play in this lineup because he's gonna need it. Like, there's so much competition. If you start getting scrappy and Berube likes you, then obviously you're gonna get a jump. But I do
honestly,
I
that-
do
that-
want to talk. Sorry, Seb, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, honestly, that is his game,
Yeah.
like in the AHL too.
Yeah.
but yeah.
I want to start going through the forward group, and I think the biggest like a lot of these lines aren't a surprise really. I think our biggest surprise would probably be Domi and Michelli there, but I mean personally I've said this in a lot of my articles too. I want Domi on the first line with Matthews. We've seen it work when Bertuzzi was playing there, and I think Nyes is almost a much better version of Bertuzzi.
For sure.
And I think that line, if you were to play Domi and Matthews and Nyes on the same line, we'd see a very similar outcome with Domi. You're getting Domi at his best. You're getting Matthews with a guy who could feed him the puck in Domi. Domi's an elite passer in this league, very good. Elite might be a stretch, but Nyes is great in the corners. Yeah, he has skill, but I would prefer to see Domi on the first line instead of Michelli. But Michelli is an elite passer too. So if you get him the puck and you get Nyes in the corners in front of the net doing the dirty work, I don't mind the fit, but I would just rather Domi up top. And then if you move Michelli to the second line,
McMahon.
Can Michelli play on the left?
Yeah, he could play either or.
Right.
He played left mostly in
If you play
Utah and
Michelli on
Arizona.
the left and move McMahon down to the third line like Jacob was saying, I think that lineup fits perfectly.
Honestly, I think the better fit is the way they have it right now. And it's not that I'm against Domi on the top line, because I think that would be a perfect line. But I think McShelly will work there. I can't say for sure that it does, but I think McShelly will work there. And I think we've already seen success with McMahon, Tavares, Nylander. And I like the idea of Joshua Waugh, Domi as like a checking line for the third line.
The only thing I'd say for that is that Domi and Nyes on the same line brings that same physicality that you have on the third line, and they protect Matthews too. Like, listen, not a lot of guys are gonna take runs at Matthews.
Yeah.
It's not like that anymore. But like, who's even gonna think about it when you have Nyes and Domi on the ice? Those are two like bodyguards for Matthews if you need it.
You're right.
Yeah.
I guess. Sorry, Seb. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Seb.
I was gonna say what I was thinking was there are a lot of options. The thing with Domi is that you know he works with Matthews.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the issue from years past was that the Leafs never had the space to make like an effective shutdown line lower in the lineup so that they could allow players in the top six to have like a defensive deficiency, because like I think this, because the way I look at it right now is Domi in the bottom six, he would be good on that third line to really facilitate play, because I think Waugh and Joshua are both very good like net front guys and behind the net and corners and everything like that, but in terms of like driving play and making plays themselves, they're not going to be the best there. That's where I think like a guy like a Domi, or what I was going to say was I think the way they should facilitate Michelli right now, at least to start the season, is start him on like the third line, start him lower in the lineup, maybe with like the Waugh and Joshua, because that's a similar situation to what he had in Arizona when he was doing really well. He was playing with Lawson Krause and I think Travis Boyd.
Seriously?
On the third line, and had
There's another one. Travis
him and
Boyd.
Lawson Krause. Him and Lawson Krause were like inseparable on Arizona. Like they were
The only thing
really
I'd say
good together.
is that I'd like to cut you off, so but I think Michelli, I do want him in the top six, because I think if you play him with JT and Willie, those are two guys who can put the puck in the back of the net, and if you have two elite to very good passers, we'll say on the first two lines, that I think that like brings the ceiling up for the scoring the scoring upside on the top six. And if you move McMahon down to the third line, I think he plays a good game, and we know McMahon kind of drives his own play. He doesn't facilitate that much, and if a lot of the offense that he's been or that when he's on the ice doesn't come through him, kind of taking on his own. So I think if you play with two good checking players in Waugh and Joshua, and two guys hold up to the front of the net, and you let McMahon kind of like run that line and facilitate that line a little bit, I do think that's a great fit too. And I think we saw McMahon play in the top six a little bit in the playoffs and didn't really work. He wasn't great in the playoffs. I think we all know that. It's not really a hot take at all. But I do think that if you play McMahon on the third line and Michelli on the second line, you could like. We're talking a lot about this offseason. How are they going to score goals? I think if you put two good facilitators on the top six, with JT and Willie on one line and Matthews and then Nyes in front of the net banging in goals, I think that does. You're gonna have to find ways to make this team score, and I think if you put Michelli and Domi on in the top six on separate lines, that kind of helps bring like raise the ceiling a little bit for the potential upside of this offense.
Yeah, you know what's
Yeah,
awesome
no,
though, is I don't think that they've had this deep a forward core since
No.
Bozak and Van Riemsdyk were on the team.
No.
Which
no.
is
Wha-
this is such a great problem to have. I can't remember the last time I
Yeah.
looked at a Leafs lineup and I saw 9 players that are like, yeah, you deserve to be here. The only wild card or asterisk I think is McShelly because he
will
had a pretty bad
Yeah.
pretty down year
I-
last year.
I just
Oh,
wanted to
kind of
say,
terrible, but I think he'll bounce back.
Yeah. I will say
Where
we
I
do
was
split a
gonna-
top 6 forward, I think, and I want to talk about that a little bit later, Sip, so you could go ahead, but I do want to jump in after and just talk about that quickly.
No, where I was gonna go with Michelli was that I think they should start him on the third line, but eventually he should be in the top 6 of this team. I think if things work out. I just think starting him on the third line kind of puts him in a situation where there's not as much pressure because there is some pressure that comes with playing in that top 6.
There
And he's
100%
coming
is,
off of
especially in the first
he's
half.
coming off of a year that was not very good for his confidence. He was getting healthy scratched for like 10 games straight at the end of last year in Utah. Like it did not work out well for him. I don't think his confidence is probably at the place that we would hope for it to be. I think starting him on the third line, maybe in a similar situation to what worked for him in Arizona and got him as like I think he was a Calder nominee if I'm not mistaken.
He was.
If not, he was like top 5 at least.
No, he was a nominee. I believe.
Yeah. Get him in a situation like that. Let him build his confidence for like the first month or so of the season. If things are working out really well, then I think they should start giving him looks in the top 6. But I mean, that could all, if he starts well, whatever in the top 6, if they start him there, and maybe in preseason if they're playing him with like Matthews or something, and it's working well, I'd say just run with it then. But yeah.
No, this is such a great problem to have. Like, there's so many options for the lineup. We haven't even touched on Nick Robertson, who could probably slide in just about anywhere. He scored today, but we know he's a preseason demon, so we'll see if that keeps up.
Dude, that goal he scored was nuts.
It was nasty.
Same guy.
He launched that thing. That was nuts.
I do want to talk about the top 6 still, because I do think I've been making. I'm almost done my 3 out of 4 articles for the series I've been writing, where it's a trade target from every single team for the Leafs, and I in my article, again, if it's your first time watching, I write for Editor and Leaf. You can find me Matteo Giuliano, Editor and Leaf. Quick plug, but no, I've been writing an article for a trade target from every team, like I said, in each division. And I looked at the roster. I'm like, okay, where are the biggest holes? And I think the 2 holes I found was the top 6 forward and a puck moving defenseman, which is, if you watch the Leafs, you know that already. Like, we kind of need both those things. And I think we do need a top 6 forward, and I'd prefer to be a center, to be honest.
It needs to be a center. There's no point getting one if it's
Well,
not a center.
I just want to push. I know JT is sent that extension. It's a good deal. Like, I was happy with the move that Treliving made. I feel like
Wanted probably top 5 in the NHL, to be fair.
Listen, JT is going to be productive. I just think he's too old later in the season. I don't know if his body holds up well enough to play center through the playoff run. And he starts to slow down a little bit. He's already slow as is, but he does start to slow down a little bit in the playoffs. He still produces, which is like great. I love JT, and it's not supposed to be a slight, but I would prefer to either you push him out to the wing, and that upgrades your winger depth, which is a little bit of a problem in this team. I think the left side is a little bit thin. Or you push him to third line center, and then you're still able to move Wild to the wing, which helps your winger depth still. But I would prefer to be a center. And I think one of the guys I picked out right now I'm doing this. I think I'm doing the Central Division right now. I'm doing the Pacific. Sorry. So Nas is one of the guys I really wanted. I know we've talked about him before, but.
I went through gymnastics to try and work that out.
I know it's $7 billion.
It ain't happening.
It's probably not happening, but
I mean, it's not that bad now.
yeah,
for the
like,
Leafs,
the cap's
$7 million?
going up. The cap's going
No,
up.
it
Mitch
would-
is off the books.
Yeah, I think it would need to be a center, like you said. Ideally, you probably have someone better than McMahon on your second line.
It's not Washington.
Yeah, he's great, but I think he's someone who's better suited in your bottom six. I mean, I really like when they were at their best. You had McMahon, Domi, Robertson last year. Kind of a disaster at sometimes. When they were on, they were on. But yeah,
Defensive liability the whole way through.
100%. But I would love to see
Yeah.
Tavares play the left wing, with
It
Nylander on
would
the
be
right.
intriguing.
It would be.
The one time they did it when they had O'Reilly,
It worked.
that line, like, it clicked.
That was
and it
Tavares,
clicked
O'Reilly, and Marner,
heavy,
right?
like, I believe so, yes. And O'Reilly, I think, had like 3 points or something. Tavares had a couple tucks. Like, it was crazy.
Let me cook. Nyes, Matthews, Tavares, McShelly, someone, and Nylander.
Is the someone that they will acquire via trade?
Yeah.
Okay, I could see that.
No, but it'd be cool to have Matthews and
Potentially.
Tavares.
One guy, you know, the whole off season we've been like hearing about how everybody thinks they're in it, besides like the Penguins.
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Like the price on Raquel and Rust are
Yeah.
like sky high. I'm not really interested in that.
But I don't think
One
Raquel
guy-
even plays center that often.
No, neither one of them play
Yeah.
center
So,
anyways.
what's
But
the point?
one guy I am really intrigued to see what happens with him at the deadline, if he is gonna get moved or if this team falls out of it, is Jared McCann.
Ooh, Leaf legend.
He doesn't play that much center anymore.
No.
Either. He has in the past, and he was pretty good in like a bottom six role as a center. He hasn't really played it in Seattle. Like, most of his success is at the wing, but we're talking about a guy who's, at the very minimum, like a 25, 50 point guy.
100%. I think he's put up 60 or 70 the last.
At like the very least. Normally he can put up,
60 years.
Man, you disgust me as an individual.
He's got 2 years left at $5 million too, so that's not bad. Only 29
Yeah,
years old.
like very cost effective. There is trade protection, so the Leafs might not even be an option there. But yeah, I mean, past 2 years, 22 goals last year, 29 goals the year before.
Yeah.
2 years removed from a 40-goal season. He's had 20 goals every year in Seattle, at least a 50-point player every season.
He sniffs 30.
That
every
I
time,
think would
too,
be
except
a
for
very good
last year.
fit.
Yeah, that'd be a good pickup. You know what's so frustrating about this
He
though
would
is
be a
wouldn't
good fit.
Ryan O'Reilly be so perfect right now? Wouldn't he just be the perfect fit for that second line?
He would
center
be a
spot?
really good fit, but
It's
the
very
lights were
upsetting.
too bright.
Lights were too bright.
F that guy, anyways.
Yeah.
Well, literally, the lights were too bright. Like, he said that himself. He literally said that himself. So, like, I have no sympathy. Like, he
I mean,
literally
at least
said the
he's
lights
real.
were too bright. I'm sorry. What? Sure, whatever. He can go away. I'm upset the Leafs didn't go for Mason Marchment this year. If they did, I'm just upset they didn't get him.
I mean, he just hasn't signed a contract yet, has he?
Mason Marchment?
Oh, Mason.
He got traded.
Sorry, Mason Marchment. I had a fucking brain lapse. I thought you meant Mason McTavish for a second.
Oh, hey, that would be one hell of a thing. I just don't think the Leafs have anybody to get Mason McTavish.
Plus, I don't. If
I don't
Anaheim,
think if Anaheim trades him, they're
If
so
Anaheim
dumb.
trades him, they're
They
so-
literally have dude, they have $100 quadrillion in cap space. Just fucking sign the guy.
Carlson McTavish is going to be a great 1-2 punch for years to come, and they need to stick by
Literally,
that.
dude, they their rebuild went from they have some decent pieces, but honestly, I'm not convinced these are pieces to make a winning team, like Zegras and Drysdale. They
Yeah.
turned that rebuild really quickly into one that is
They flipped it on its head, yeah.
some
And they
decent
got
pieces.
Kreider,
And McTavish
Terry.
dude, McTavish is the perfect center to maybe not build your team around, but he should be at the very minimum a second line center on your team. He's perfect. He's a great power forward, little gritty.
There's a reason everyone wants him.
Yeah. Anyways, that just turned into Anaheim Ducks corner.
Yeah, it did. Oops. We were talking about McTavish.
Mason
Mateo's
McTavish
back.
potentially being Mateo's back.
Quick washroom break.
Welcome
no,
back, Mateo.
Yeah, no, McTavish. That's another guy I had added into my article for the Pacific. I mean that
Yeah.
that situation is really weird. I don't know how much you guys got into it, but I think even if you can't play,
We talked a
center,
little, yeah.
Yeah, if you can't play center long term, it's still a really great winger ad. and
True.
he's the guy who will play for you long term on an older roster. Like adding some youth into the lineup that could score, that could play would be huge. I just don't know what the package looks like, and I don't know if the prospects. I don't know if you guys touched on this already, but I just don't know what we could offer.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
what I.
Yeah.
That's what I mentioned. I have no idea what the Leafs could even give up for a guy like McTavish. But we touched on a Jared McCann. I think Jared McCann would be a very good fit. Obviously, if Seattle falls out of it this year,
He had a tough year last year, did he not?
he still had 60 points.
That's not bad. It's pretty good.
If you're getting Jared McCann, like he's not like an elite guy. Like I don't think he's touching 40 goals or 70 points again.
I mean, either way,
But
I think
he's a top 6 guy. Like
there's a lot of good options out there. I think they'll probably find maybe not a permanent guy, but they'll find at least a rental at this year's deadline to fill that spot.
Yeah.
But 22
I
points.
think-
We already went through this.
Or 22 goals, 39 assists. Oh, you already did. My fault.
Yeah.
My fault, guys. My
yeah,
fault.
I think the misconception with the Leafs right now is that people think they need to go get another like Marner level
No.
player, and it's
No.
like they don't. That this was the issue for
What-
years is that they
it's
had
also
too many of those
impossible.
guys at the top that they had to pay them all and
It's also
couldn't
impossible.
fill out depth.
Like, who are you going to get? I don't
Yeah.
know.
What team
Like
has
it's impossible
has
to do
more
that.
than
You'd have to
one
wait
guy?
until next year's deadline and hope that like one of the top guys signs with you. Like, and even then, you're gonna run into the same problem.
No
you ran
successful
yourself
team
into
has ever had
for the past 9 years.
no successful team has ever had more than 2 of those guys. And I mean, Tavares isn't one of those guys anymore. So the Leafs have Matthews and Nylander.
Yeah.
That's the
Honestly,
way I've been looking
if
at it
you-
this year.
If you
It's
look
like
at
I mean.
it, sorry, go ahead, Seb.
No, I mean the only exception I can really think of is like maybe Tampa or like
Yeah,
I don't
Tampa's
know
fair.
Colorado,
Yeah, like what you're saying, Hedman,
Colorado
Florian,
maybe,
Kuch,
but like they
like
also
Kuch,
were
Stamkos.
able to.
Stamkos.
Stamkos too was elite.
Oh, you're saying when they won the cup? My fault. My fault.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
when they
saying
won the
now. I
cup,
was
yeah,
what are you
like
talking about?
no, not now. I'm talking about like teams
My
that
fault,
have
my
won.
fault, my fault.
Like Colorado, I think was kind of like that too. They had like Landeskog when he was going,
Yeah,
Rantanen,
yeah.
McKinnon,
Makar.
McCarr was great.
Man.
Devin Taves
But
is
like
still there,
you
too.
you also but if you have the depth to suffice for that, you don't need it. Like you can survive, and the thing with those teams was they were so well managed under the cap that they could survive like that.
And the
but
other thing too is that I think, and we didn't get to talk about it because we didn't do that many pods throughout the summer, but really the Leafs were taking bets on a couple guys, and the 2 guys we're really taking bets on are Michelli and Joshua. And
Yeah.
and I expect like people were kind of down on Joshua. Like he had a tough year last year, and the contract isn't like irrelevant. Like it is pretty. It's a pretty big cap hit, but the guy had cancer. He came back from cancer, got and then missed
Yeah.
training camp because of it. And came in mid-season.
I need-
Vancouver was a disaster. I expect a lot more
Yeah,
out of
like, dude.
Joshua this year. So I'm really happy with that bet. And Michelli too. Sorry, Seb. I'm just gonna finish quickly here. And then you
you're
can go
good. Yeah,
ahead.
yeah, sorry.
But Michelli too, like you put him with a lot of elite talent, a guy who could pass the puck like he can, just a pure skill. Like he should be able to be a lot better than he was last year in Arizona. I don't think he was
Yeah.
a good fit. I think you're gonna find him in a lot better fit now than he was last year, and I think I'm fairly confident both bets will hit. And even if they don't, if one of the 2 hit, then you found. And I'm hoping it's Joshua because I think Joshua is such a unique player with being a power forward who can still produce
He's so
a bit of
cool,
offense.
dude. He'll be a fan favorite.
Yeah, and I think he'd be perfect in the playoffs too. He scored I think he produced pretty decent for Vancouver in the playoffs in that little run that they had.
He was good there too.
Yeah, and
he had like 8 points in 13
Yeah,
games.
yeah, and honestly, I'm a big fan of the total Joshua. I'm hoping he's the one who hits if only one of them can. And Michelli, like if you put him with it, listen, there's an adjustment period. Obviously, put him with Matthews and or JT and Willie. There's still an adjustment period, but I think putting him with an elite goal scoring talent can do nothing but help him. So I'm really high on him.
I think the one spot Michelli will really help in is on the power play.
Yeah.
Because he is very good at getting those like cross seam passes across the ice.
Yeah.
Similar to kind of, I think he will kind of fill that void at least on the power play that Marner maybe is kind of leaving, and I think he'll do it with a little more simplicity. I find like Marner obviously dynamic player and everything, and he's extremely creative with a lot of the ways he develops play, but at the same time, sometimes you need that simplicity on the power play as well, because like honestly, sometimes a simple power play works, and this team's I feel like identity now more than anything is kind of simplistic hockey and like just north south. You know, finish your checks, win your battles, and played like solid, just foundational hockey, and good things will come.
The one thing I would
So I
say-
do think Michelli fits in that.
The only thing I'd say is that I don't think there's space for Michelli on the first unit, because I just highly doubt we're going back to the 5-in power play or 5-4 power play.
Yeah, for sure
Mo was running the power play 1, and I think that the
Yeah.
only reason they ran the 5-man with Berube is Mitch was so good defensively that you could afford to have him play the point.
you could afford, yeah.
And I don't know who on this power play would play the point now. And I don't think Michelli has his defensive warts, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure he's not great defensively. And I don't know if you want him as a guy playing the point on a power play, you know?
No, but you know what? I think they have the depth now where they should attempt to do
A 2-unit.
more of a split into
Yeah.
2 units, like for sure. If you have Domi and Michelli in your, you know, on your forward core, does William Nylander need to be on the same power play unit as Austin Matthews?
Yeah, both guys are pure shooters and aren't really going to dish the puck that much.
Do they need to be on the same power play unit? Like I think you could play around with that to where I think that was a big issue for the Leafs last year too. When the power play had a cold stretch, there's nobody to go to.
I don't know if they will, because even when we lost a superstar, obviously, listen, I think all three of us agree it's a good thing that Mitch is gone. But when you're looking at pure,
That's crazy.
Well, listen, like we all know, like, there's a problem with this team that need to change. Mitch is gone. They changed the structure of the team. It's a good thing, but when you want to run a 2-man power play and you lose a guy like Mitch, it takes away the firepower from one of the power plays. Because at the end of the day, Mitch was a great power play player in the regular season. Playoffs, completely different story. And it's not. You guys know I'm the biggest Mitch hater kind of there is, but like, it wasn't just him in the playoffs that was bad in the power play. I think all of them were.
No,
All of them.
But something had to kink.
No, obviously, but I'm just saying that, like, during the regular season, when you lose a guy like Mitch, if you run a split unit power play, you're going to see an impact, because you're going to have guys like Michelli and Domi on one of the 2 units, and it's just not going to be as crisp. Like, we've seen Domi, like,
And like
Yeah.
I think it's
You
not
know-
just exclusive
you know what, though?
to the Leafs, but I think a lot of teams now, the way they run their power play is they have one where it's a full 100% all of your best players on one unit, and then the second unit doesn't see much time. I mean, I know Washington does that. I think Florida does that.
I'm not sure.
Edmonton does it.
Edmonton does
Yeah.
it, yeah.
So it's not
Edmonton
an
does it.
uncommon thing to
Which
do.
why
But,
wouldn't
but
you?
the problem
They
is,
did
I
it,
think
so.
I think Toronto, and I'm not just talking about this year. I'm talking historically too. They've been so married to one concept, and whether that's keeping Matthews and Martin together or that's on the power play,
Exactly.
not changing things up. Like I kind of just want to see where it would go if they did that. Like I think that's a great idea. So what?
Yeah,
Matthews,
I think they should
Elliott,
try
and
it.
then Nylander and Domi or something like that. I don't know.
I think they have the depth now to attempt something like that, and I think they should try it, because you haven't had this kind of depth really, I think, at any point, maybe in the Matthews era.
And saying
Like,
that,
I really can't think like of another year they had this kind. Maybe the 2023 year where they had O'Reilly. Like, that's it.
yeah, I do want to pivot now from, like, because you're talking about depth, Seb, and I think one of the biggest guys that we're going to watch this preseason and throughout training camp, and even later into the season still, but Easton Cowan, like, do we think he has a role there? Do you want him on the roster? What do we think about Easton Cowan on this Leafs team?
Can I start on this?
Yeah,
for
go
it.
ahead, Seb.
So watching a little bit of Easton Cowan now, through just like in, you know, prospect games, the game today, even like just watching back some like clips and stuff, he is really like exactly the kind of player that I think will succeed on this kind of roster, and I think he is going to make this team at some point. What's the ceiling? We don't really know, I guess, like in terms of what he'll score and things like that. But I do see definitely a role for him and where he can kind of carve himself out, because he's extremely aggressive in the corners. Like he's a great forechecker. Like literally exactly what, you know, the organization likes. And he does have really nice skill. Like watching today, He's a fast player too. Like he got a crazy break through like 3 Sens defenders.
I mean, look,
And
sorry to cut you off, but all things considered, we're assuming that McShelly and Joshua are going to have bounce back years. That's not a guarantee. So Cowan really should be in this
Yeah.
conversation
We were talking
too.
about that when you were gone. That like, we
Yeah.
don't know if both bets are going to hit, and they did take bets because
Yeah,
because of that
exactly.
younger. The thing I'd say on Cowan is that like, even if you put him in the lineup, I'd rather them put Cowan in the lineup and trade Yarncrook and Kampf, because realistically, Yarncrook and Kampf we know the ceiling for them offensively, and this team that is going to have trouble scoring but has a lot of defensively responsible players can afford a rookie who might make a couple of mistakes, but he has a higher upside. So I'd rather them move take a guy like Kampf or Yarncrook off the roster where we know what their ceiling is offensively and it's low,
yeah,
and then let him make his mistakes.
yeah. I have a lot more confidence in, I think, Easton Cowan making like the roster this year, especially after watching today.
Yeah.
They're just watching him play right now.
And that was a
like
good sense
his
roster,
first,
by the way. Sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, really good
Heard a
sense
lot of
roster
NHLers,
too. Yeah.
Chuck Stutzla, Pinto
Yeah.
was playing. I believe Pinto was playing. Greg was playing for sure.
I don't- yeah.
Braun was playing.
Sucks.
Greg was, yeah.
1 of the 10. Terrible.
But no, Easton Cowan's first training camp with the Leafs, he really surprised. It looked like, honestly, he could have made the team. Like, he was playing really well, but obviously they sent him back.
Camp with the team a little bit, and then they send him back later. Like
Yeah.
never
He
dressed
started,
an
like, he
NHL
was
game,
playing.
but he never recorded an NHL regular season game, but he did.
He
break
played.
camp
He
with the
played
team.
in a couple. He played in a couple preseason
Yeah,
games,
he
and
definitely
he
did.
was really impressive. I think that was a case where like the expectations weren't there, and he kind of flourished in that, and I think that carried over into the next season. Because if you guys remember last training camp, he looked really panicked and like just stressed, I think, and like just nervous. Like there were definitely nerves there of like, oh shoot, like what are my expectations? Like I should be making this team. Like that's the next step, and I think we kind of saw that too at like the World Juniors where he kind of got nerves. I think the key with Easton Cowan is just keeping him calm. Because right now I think there is an air of that like calmness to his game where like I think he knows regardless like he's taking a step in his career, whether he's playing in the AHL or he's playing with the Leafs, and I think he knows at some point this season he's definitely going to get games.
I hope he
So
does.
I think
Like,
he just
I don't see
I hope
what
he does
the
too.
downside is. Like, even if you don't
No,
burn the
yeah,
LC,
exactly.
like, give him his 9 games. Don't burn the year if you don't want. Although
Yeah.
you're gonna burn anyways. 'Cause I think
Yeah.
if he plays in the A, you burn it.
yeah he's gonna yeah
I could see them doing something
a
like,
chance,
remember when Minton got 4 games?
Well,
They
but
can
what?
give
Yeah.
him less than
Yeah,
that.
but like even then, just give him just let him play. Let him play. The regular season,
Yeah.
realistically, listen, the Atlantic is not an easy division. There's a lot of teams that are like fighting for that wild card area, but at the end of the day, we kind of know what this Leafs team's probably going to be. We know they're probably going to listen, unless Matthews is hurt a lot of the season, and we see like big declines from guys like JT or Mo or Carlo or OEL or someone like that. They're probably going to be a playoff team, or like maybe like goaltending's an issue because Stolarz can't repeat and Wool gets hurt, but most likely they're going to be a playoff team. So let Cowan play, dude. We've seen
exactly
they went for the division last year. You win against Ottawa, great, and then you lose to Florida anyways. So who cares where you place?
exactly.
Just
I-
let him
I-
develop.
I definitely think he can. There just seems to be a new kind of. I honestly think with how bad the World Juniors was that like a lot of people soured on him, but I honest to God think that experience really matured the type of player he was, because I think he understood that he didn't have to be like the top guy.
Yeah.
Like maybe that like he didn't have to necessarily be the top guy, and I think like I said, I think that experience just matured him a lot, and that's just seems to really carried over into this camp where he just looks calm, and that's the key to me. I just think like his skills there,
Yeah, look, I mean,
his tenacity's there, his compete's there. I think he can 100% stick in the lineup. I'm very interested to see if they keep him around.
yeah, me too. I think like you said, he's got bits and pieces that can make him a successful player on this team. It's just a matter of if the spot's available or if he is going to jump on that opportunity.
Yeah, I do want to move on from
let's do
Cowan now because I want to move on to another big topic, even before the preseason game started and before camp opened. Or I guess it would have been first day, but no on ice. But apparently Treliving and Berube had, or I think it was just Treliving, had their end of the season.
Talk with.
Yeah, end of the season like exit meeting was pretty I guess we'll say direct. And Mo took it to heart, and apparently he's looking a lot better. And they kind of want Mo. And we listen. It's not even a surprise. Like when I saw the headlines, like yeah, like okay, whatever. We all know that Mo
I'd
was
hope
not.
they'd have a talk with him.
Mo was not good last year, and there's no way of getting around it. Playoffs, he was a lot better. Game 7, he might have been the worst player on the ice, but Game 7 is Florida. But listen, for the most part, he was fantastic, and we've gotten pretty used to Mo playing some very good playoff hockey. But if this team's gonna be a contender and play very well during the regular season, they are going to need him to step up a little bit. And I think we will see him get more points now. He was running the first power play unit. He was taking off that obviously for Mitch last year, who ran the point. But yeah, apparently I don't know. Did he drop or gain weight? I mean, that's always the story.
I think he dropped 6 pounds.
I think he
dropped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he dropped weight, and Mo.
Could it have been 7 pounds?
Enough. Okay. Enough. Anyways.
That's it. That's the podcast.
I've had enough.
Did you know Jared? I can't remember. Did Jared McCann have 60 or 70 points last year?
Anyways, so yeah, like Mo, we're gonna need a lot more out of him. We'll see. Like we need a puck moving defenseman, but if Mo gets back to what he's been like, and it seems like by all the reports, he looks like reinvigorated and like a lot more energized and a lot more inspired. If we get the Mo that we got used to seeing a little bit earlier on in his career, which listen, train camp storylines are kind of like whatever. They kind of just throw them out there, and like you never really know, but.
Everybody's in the best shape of their life.
70 goals again.
But, enough, guys. Can we lock in here a little bit? But yeah, like we're gonna need more from Mo. If we don't, then I seriously do think we need to go look at what getting a puck moving defenseman would look like.
Oh, it's dark out. I was surprised.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna say, do you think that conversation involved like bringing up, hey, like, what do you think about, like, you know, maybe being traded?
Well, there was reports throughout the summer.
And Mo probably took that to heart.
There was reports throughout the summer that they did it, that he made it very clear he wouldn't leave.
That's why I'm saying I wonder if that's something they brought up.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Maybe
man.
that's what the heart-to-heart discussion was.
I wouldn't be surprised. Listen, I love Mo, but if you could move him and you get like a younger, more offensive puck-moving defenseman, I wouldn't be against it. And Mo is one of my favorite players on the team. He's been here forever. 100%. He's the longest tenured Leaf on this roster.
But at the same time, I think it might just be an issue with role because he's kind of considered the number one defenseman. I don't have an issue with his contract per se with the cap going up at 7.5. It's not the worst.
I think it's so expensive.
It's expensive right now. In 2 years, it's not going to be so bad.
Yeah, but in 2 years, you're going to have a bigger job still.
If you were paying for 2018-19 Morgan Riley where he had like 70 points,
obviously not. Like then
that's
fine,
that was your number one. But I think with Mo's at his best when he's taking risks.
Yeah, no, he is,
and he wasn't doing that last season.
Nope. I think he admitted it throughout the year that he had a little bit of trouble getting to the Berube system and playing the Berube style hockey. And listen, that happens. Like his style is different from what Keefe ran. Keefe was a lot more offense and transition, like zone entries and Berube is a lot more sitting back. You play defensive, slower. You don't create as much.
Dump that shit.
Yeah, it's dump and chase, and that'll mess with a puck with a offensive minded defenseman because you don't want to jump into the play as much. You get a little bit nervous about jumping in, leaving your partner stranded a bit. And I do think a full season with Carlo will help because I think he got a lot better when Carlos got here after the deadline. And I'm excited to see what he looks like because honestly, I think he's a huge I'm saying the obvious here, but he's gonna be huge if this team wants any type of success. And and he
Yeah.
always does bring it in the playoffs. So I've always said I'll trade mediocre, not even mediocre, but like below what he's being paid Mo, like performing at that level, and then get
Exactly.
playoff Mo. But he kind of needs to marry the two a little bit for this team to have success with Mitch Strawn, because I've said it already, all three of us agree that something needs to change, but in the regular season, Mitch was still an 100-point player, and they're going to need to find offense in other places. So Mo does need to have a better regular season this year.
And I think it's a
I
fair
think-
bet that Matthews is going to be a 100-point player this year too. So
If he stays healthy.
if he stays healthy.
So
If he's healthy.
one more topic
yeah.
to touch on for the Leafs, and then I think we're going to get to the rest of the league, and we'll probably wrap after that. Like, we're going to try to keep this a little bit shorter today. Just a quick pod, get back into the season. We're going to try to make it like a weekly thing again, like we were doing last year. But the other, and this is kind of like goalie corner too. You guys remember goalie corner? My favorite segment.
Remember goalie corner, guys?
Goalie
You
corner.
remember
Goalie corner.
Sammy Urson?
My brother hating Sam Urson. My brother absolutely hating him. That's just trying his best. Tort said it. But anyways, goalie corner / Leafs talks, the Stolarz extension. There hasn't really been many concrete numbers flying out there, but they have been talking. I think Chris Johnson said the drop dead date on the extensions are the first day of the season, regular season. And he doesn't want to...
It's a fly.
Okay. Why? Where was I? Oh, drop that day. It's the first day of the regular season, and Stolarz doesn't want to
fucked it up, Jacob.
That. Fuck, dude.
Stolarz.
Stolarz does not want to negotiate in season. Okay. No concrete numbers from anyone I've seen yet. It seems like no one really knows what's happening. Kevin Weeks put out a tweet and just said a bunch of nothing in the tweet. He's just like, they're leaving no stone unturned.
Classic Kevin Weeks.
Thank
What-
you, man.
what I've
does
been
that
seeing-
mean? Like, what?
What I have been seeing is just that they're talking
Yeah, which is good.
and trying to make
Obviously.
it work now,
Yeah, I mean,
which I think
What's an ideal? We all agree that keeping him is probably the right move. But what is the ideal contract? Where listen, make it fair. Obviously, make it fair. But what do you think is the ideal term and number on this deal?
I mean, what you gotta have to consider is that he had a great year last year, but that is the first year that he's been a starter. He was out for about 6 weeks
and he barely
with an injury.
played
He barely
30
played.
games.
he's
30
also
games.
31 too.
So I'm thinking, like, considering the context of the modern cap, I think like $4 million over 3 years would make sense. What do you think, Seb?
I would get I think 3 to 4 years is like probably the perfect range for both player and team.
Yeah.
He gets a little bit of contract security up until the mid 30s range where he could cash in at least one more probably big contract if he has success. And for the team, it's not super long to where like they're married to this guy, or if they needed to move on from him, they still probably could. But in terms of the money, if they could get that, like,
4.5, I think would probably be the sweet spot.
yeah, like I think
Around
four
being
four would be very team friendly. I think for what he did last year. I
if
think
he- if
four and a
he's-
half. You're getting there.
If he's not,
I'd be comfortable on it. Honestly, I'd be comfortable going up to like 5, maybe even like 5.5. I would be okay with
Five
it.
and a half, I think it's too expensive.
For
Five.
me, I would be okay with it.
I didn't
But
nervous
I
because-
can see the hesitation
Yeah, like,
with
what-
it.
what
Like
did
I get that.
What did Allmark get? Allmark got
8,
eight.
Olmark got like 8 point. Yeah, he got like
Right, and
8.4.
He'll play majority, like bulk of the season. I just have a trouble giving a tandem goalie who has an injury history 5.5. I think even with the cap
Yeah.
going up, it's a little bit rich when you're also paying Wolf 4.5. So if you give him
No.
5,
Wolves 3.6.
is it 3.6? Sorry, my bad, guys.
3.6.
Still $9 million on your goaltending.
it's a lot.
When you don't have like a Vasilevsky or a Shesterkin or a guy who's a bona fide one, and both guys have injury history, both guys haven't played that many games in a single season. Both of them had career highs in games played in a single season last year, I believe. I do get a little nervous about 5.5 at Stolarz. I think I'm looking more at the 4.5 to 5 range. Even 5 is a bit rich for me, but if you could find somewhere in between 4.5 and 5, I'd happily take that.
I think
if it's a 3
the
or
only
4 year deal.
the only thing with me is that you have to. I think the Leafs have done this too much, where they wait until the guy proves it, to give the
I
money.
100% agree with you on that.
And I think at a certain point, we saw it with the Wool deal where they were really proactive on that. And who knows if they let that, negotiation wait until the year after, like let this off season.
Yeah.
He might have gotten an extra
thing
million
they'd
per
say is
season.
that-
Maybe
is
the
that-
term is longer. Like it's
The thing they say is that Wool and all the guys that they might have waited on before were younger. Stolarz being 31, it does make me listen. He's had great numbers his whole career, but very minimal, like very small sample size, and I would get nervous locking him up long term on a big money. At the age of 31,
you know what, though?
injury history.
Every goalie
Goalies-
is fluky too.
goalies are like that though. Sometimes where like they don't break out until they're older.
Philip Grubauer.
Well, listen, I know
Like sometimes we don't see goalies really break out until they are hitting kind of the
It's
age
not-
Stolarz
yeah,
is
but
at. And I
Stolarz-
think part of it was opportunity too throughout his career.
I
as
agree,
well.
but Stolarz has an injury history, and it does make me nervous that he gets hurt very often. If you're locking up a 31-year-old goalie to more than 4 years, and you're giving him big money, I just get nervous about that because he hasn't played more than last season. Sorry, I'll pull the total up, but last season was his career high in games played, and it was only 34. Like it's not a lot, and if you're gonna pay that guy $5 million for multiple years, it does make me nervous.
For sure. I do think if the team believes in a guy, I just want them to be proactive on it because like
I do trust the front
we've
office.
seen it we've seen it work for so many other teams where they are, who knows, like if Stolarz goes out there this year and like plays maybe 45 games to 50 games and like has similar numbers to what he had last season, that's probably a $6, $7, $8 million goalie on the open market.
Shut up,
Jacob. Jacob.
The problem I have is that, listen, these guys are still a couple years away. I'm not saying they're going to be ready next season, but you have guys in the minors like Akimov. I know he fell off at the end of the season last year a little bit, but you do have prospects that you've drafted and you've developed.
Well,
and if you're going to want one, if listen, at the end of the day, if Stolarz is going to leave, either you probably don't sign enough. If Stolarz wants a lot, you can let him leave and go get another tandem goalie. Tandem goalies aren't impossible to find because Wool, I'm very high on Wool. I've always been a big Wool believer. You get a tandem goalie, you get a tandem goalie, and then you let Akimov fight for a role. Because at the end of the day, you can't bury him in the AHL for the rest of his life. Like eventually, you're gonna have to let him take that.
I do want to say one of the reasons I mentioned that if you have Stolarz on like a 3 to 4 year deal, you're not necessarily married to that player is because the Leafs have a couple younger guys. Like we have Hildeby, we have Akimov. Even on like a lower extent, there's like a Pexa. Like, dude, they have younger goalies that still could develop into something. So it's kind of a case of like, Stolarz in a couple years, like if he continues to have success in Toronto, if he if he continues to have success in Toronto and those younger goalies are looking ready to make the jump, Wool is going to be a bit more of a vet at that point.
Yeah.
You could look at moving Stolarz and get a pretty solid package for him.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or just in like some sort of maybe hockey deal where you move Stolarz for an area that you need more of. But
yeah. I mean, if he's playing well, he's
like a team like I feel like if you wanted to trade like Stolarz to like the Oilers right now,
Oh yeah,
they'd be all over that shit. Like
sure.
Former Oiler already, by the way.
True.
Seb,
traded for Talbot, by the way.
Do you want to cut the rest of the Leaf talk, and do you want me to extend Leafs by a little bit? I think we're running up on an hour, and we want to keep it a little bit shorter. Do you want to cut that and save it for next pause where we can really have a deep conversation, and I just ask a couple more questions about the Leafs for the three of us, and we can wrap it at that, or do you want to talk?
You mean like the McDavid, Kaprizov?
I feel like
yeah, sure, we can. Yeah,
we'll save that for next pod. I do want to. I want to expand on that a little bit. I don't want to make it a short conversation because I think there's a lot of stuff to talk about with McDavid and Kaprizov. There's a lot with Kaprizov, and we had Crosby, and honestly, Crosby is like whatever. I'm kind of giving up on Crosby moving until until he kind of accepts it every time he does a quote, it's like no, I'm not going anywhere. So like I'm done with that conversation until something changes on that. But if you guys. Who do you guys think will be the biggest bounce back player on this roster? Obviously, last year it was a good season. We won the division still, but there is room for. There was a couple guys who didn't play at the level we kind of expected them to play. Seb, I'll let you start. Jacob is kind of go through the roster to see here, and I have my pick already.
Yeah. Is this exclusive to the guys that were on the team last season,
no.
or like you're including?
It can be everybody on the roster.
I don't know. You know what? I think for me, it's probably gonna be Domi. To be honest, I think we can all agree Domi did kind of struggle a lot last year, especially on the defensive side. And I think by the end of the season, he really tidied up his defensive game. I think he's gonna have a lot more opportunity offensively this season too. Like he's either gonna be a play driver on a pretty solid third line with a couple guys that really can score and won't be a defensive disaster, or hell, he's playing with Austin Matthews, which I swear if Max Domi's playing with Austin Matthews, I think he's perfectly capable of 50 or 60 points.
Yeah.
If he's with Matthews, if he's in the top 6 with Matthews.
All
but
right, Jacob,
that would be my pick.
Yeah, just on Domi too. He's playing wing this year too. I don't know if you said that, but he won't be forced to play center, so I think that's a good pick.
Yeah.
Honestly, my pick is Austin Matthews. There's a lot of good options. I think you could name just about anyone on this roster.
There are a lot of
it's
good
a fair
options,
pick, but Matthews, I mean, we don't have to talk about how he had a down year last year. I mean, he missed a lot of time for injury. What did he have? 33 goals, which is
Germany.
This 33 might be an all-time low for him.
Awful.
It is,
33
honestly,
33 goals. What the
dude, you look at his the
Dog
amount of
shit
games
player,
he played
though.
and everything like that. His point totals and his point projections for a full 82-game season were still very good.
Yeah, he's still over point per game.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he was still like a 95 point
No,
pace. Like
in the games he played,
It's
listen,
it's incredible
his
that's
production was
like
still pretty solid.
That's the incredible thing
Dude,
about
a lot of
Matthews
people-
to me is that he will, no matter what, it's a weird fucking way of saying it, but no matter what ails him, I guess, he will find a way to be an effective player. And we saw that in the playoffs, and I remember we talked about it on this show, how he needs to get his offense going, but he's winning every puck battle. He's still being an effective player, and we know he was playing through something. We don't know what, but I think we know it was pretty major, whatever it was. And it's
Something
good to hear that
serious.
he's doing better now. I think he'll probably hit 50 this year. Hopefully 100
I'm
points.
so excited to see him play.
Yeah,
I am really
player to
excited
watch
to
when
see
he's
him
on it.
play. Dude, I am so excited to see him play in like an era where it sounds so weird to say this because like obviously he was still like the top guy on this
but
team
it's
for
him.
years, but like
alone.
it like it's him and Nylander now. Like there's no
His team. There's
it's
no
you
bench,
two. Like
there's
this
nothing.
this really is your team. Like I'm really excited
Like
to see
Nyes,
because we've
McKelly feels like fucking Gensel, Crosby, Rust.
dude
Delusion?
like there are
It's so delusional.
there are
Holy
like we've
shit.
seen
No, but it's like the same kind of. It's
It's
not
so
like the same
delusional.
level, but it's like the same setup. You know.
No, but
I
like
disagree,
we've
bro.
seen we
We'll
have
move on
seen
from that.
Different. From
we
Matthew
have
Marner.
seen
Yeah.
we have seen shades of Matthews in years where like he just takes over a game.
For sure.
Like there is a game that is engraved in my mind, and it was in the first year he scored 60. There's a game against Dallas that they played where he scored
I
the
remember
OT
that.
winner.
I remember it.
That entire game, that was his game.
Yeah.
Nobody could stop him, and I'm really excited
You know
to
which
see
game
if
he
that
played
comes out
really
more.
well, and it was a playoff game. I think it was game. Was it game? It was game 2 against Boston, not last year, 2 years ago. He scored that goal where Domi flipped it over McAvoy's head. He grabs it over the air, puts it downstairs on the breakaway, goes shelf on Allmark.
Disgusting.
I
Like,
watched that goal
he
like 20
took
times.
over.
That goal was gross, but his whole game was fantastic. And
He took over,
Yeah,
like-
he was great, and that's what you pay him the money for. And I'm excited. I'm happy you two took guys that I didn't pick because we actually have 3 different players. I am all in on the Dakota Joshua bounce back. I think you give this guy a healthy offseason. Me and Seb, when you were gone, me and Seb already discussed Dakota Joshua, his situation. We already talked
So
about
excited.
that. I am so excited for this guy. He's in be able to produce offense. If he bounce back, like I think he will, he produces offense. He's a prick to play against. He'll hit. He's not scared to fight. He's a big body. He gets to the front of the net. This is exactly what the third line needed, and I am so happy they took a bet on this guy. And every Vancouver fan seems to love him. And in the playoffs, like we were saying, he produced well last year. 13 games played, 4 goals, 4 assists for 8 points, and it's
8 points.
It's very solid. What else can you ask from a third line guy? So I'm all into the Cody Joshua bounce
4
back
goals is nuts. Oh my god.
for a third line player. I know, but yeah, I'm all in on that. Do we want one more question or do we want to wrap?
Could go one. What was the other question?
You know what? Actually, I want to say for next spot because I think next spot we're gonna do division predictions. So I do want to. I was gonna be like do like more of a long term view on how you guys feel about the team, but I think we'll save that for next spot when we do our division predictions, and we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more. So
Cool.
Yeah, is there anything else you guys want to say before we wrap or?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, all 10 of you. I don't even know how many subscribers we have, but it's not a lot.
Hopefully we get another like 6 or 7 subscribers this year.
But anyways,
All right, we're wrapping here.
we appreciate the support.
Welcome back to the Eyes on Leafs podcast, everyone. Thank you for listening.
if
We're
you stuck
sorry for the long
around-
break. If you stuck around,
If there's anyone who sticks around.
all 5 of you who watched, if that. But thank you so much. Hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, thanks for listening.